What up schmucks, it's Ace Trainer Liam and welcome to another episode of MetroMania. For those who aren't aware, MetroMania is an ongoing 16 Pokémon Metronome only battle tournament to determine the MetroMania Champion, and this season has been all about legendary Pokémon. If you're already a fan of MetroMania and you're ready for more action, hit the like button to show your appreciation, and of course, hit subscribe if you're new so you never miss an episode. Of course, this week is the second of our semi-finals. We are 1 week away from the finals. We need to find out who's going there, but before we get into the battles, let's take a look at the all-important brackets. So here we find ourselves in the semi-finals. It's semi-final 2 this week. After last week in semi-final 1, Dialga reigned supreme, went on to the finals, and we said goodbye to Zekrom. Zekrom was a Pokemon that we really thought could hold its own against Dialga, but Dialga, as it has been throughout this tournament, was just too powerful, just too dominant, and took down Zekrom to claim its place in the final. But of course, the final is not a final without an opponent for Dialga to face, so we're going to find out this week, will it be Reshiram or will it be Solgaleo that goes on to face Dialga for the title of MetroMania Legendary Champion. Let's see who wins semi-final 2. And here we go, Reshiram versus Solgaleo, the last battle before the finals. These two Pokemon are vying for a place against Dialga to see who can become Metromania Champion. We see Turbo Blaze activating from both Reshiram there, gonna negate the abilities, I believe. It's kind of like Mold Breaker, but I don't think it affects Full Metal Body, which is Solgaleo's ability, so it's not really going to come into play. Here's Parabolic Charge from Shiny Solgaleo to start off, hitting everybody on the field, actually doing probably considerably more damage to its partner than its opposing Reshirams, but still, you know, any damage better than no damage against your opponents. But a Revelation Dance, great hit by Solgaleo there on the Shiny Reshiram there with the yellow rings. And here we see that Shiny Reshiram going for Rolling Kick onto Solgaleo. Not a great deal of damage there, but a little bit of chip damage goes a long, long way in the long run. Here we see a Wing Attack that is going to be resisted from regular Reshiram onto regular Solgaleo. Not very effective hit, but all round a decent turn for both sides, actually. Both sides got a decent amount of offense off. And here's regular Solgaleo going for Flatter. Gonna raise the special attack stats, kind of dangerous, of the regular Reshiram, but also confuse it, so that could be a hindrance to the Reshiram team. Here comes Big Red, Shiny Solgaleo going for Uproar, locking itself into Uproar for the next couple of turns, but a great deal of damage there dealt to that Shiny Reshiram. What's it going to follow up with? How will it retaliate? It's going to go for Skill Swap. It's going to take Full Metal Body from Solgaleo and swap it for Turbo Blaze. So Full Metal Body now means that Shiny Reshiram cannot have its stats lowered. That's going to be very, very handy for that Reshiram going forward as this battle progresses. We see the confused regular Reshiram is going to ignore the confusion, go in with the Metronome, and it's going to be gifted with Synthesis to restore that tiny bit of HP. I believe that's 10 HP restored to that Reshiram. Well done. Your partner could have used that, to be honest. What will happen next? I have absolutely no idea, apart from the guaranteed Uproar, which does so much damage from Shiny Solgaleo onto Shiny Reshiram. What's regular Solgaleo going to do to follow up? It's going to go for Sleep Powder, but it is going to be negated by its partner's own Uproar. So that was a bit of a bad play by Solgaleo. Regular Reshiram still not hitting itself in confusion. Going for Dizzy Punch. It is going to be not very effective on Solgaleo. And that's just unfortunate, really, isn't it? It just means that Solgaleo is still surviving in this battle. Here's an Icicle Crash. That, again, is going to be resisted. As great a move as it is and as beautiful as it is, tiniest bit of damage. Although first damage we see on Shiny Solgaleo there. Still making an Uproar, so it's still going to do the Uproar on the next turn. Regular Solgaleo, however, is going to go for another Metronome-powered move with Aeroblast. And which Reshiram is it going to be on? It's going to be on the Shiny and take it down. So our first casualty in this semi-final is Shiny Reshiram. Now it's just regular Reshiram on its own, taking the Uproar from Shiny Solgaleo. It's still confused. This is getting dangerous. But it fights through the confusion, goes for the Metronome. What move will it get? It needs something special here. Goes for Sand Attack, but unfortunately it's on the regular Solgaleo, who still has its Full Metal Body ability. If it had gone for the Shiny Solgaleo, that would have dropped the accuracy of Shiny Solgaleo. Solgaleo. Here's regular Solgaleo. What's it going to do to follow up on that mistake? Goes for Flash and lowers the accuracy of the Reshiram that just tried to lower its own accuracy. What a brilliant play by regular Solgaleo there, hindering the progress of this Reshiram. Here comes Big Red with a Poison Tail, which is going to land on Reshiram there, who snaps out of confusion. What's it going to do? Now that it's free of the confusion, what will it do? Got very lucky with no confusion damage. Throat Chop, but it misses because of the accuracy drop. That's unfortunate for Reshiram. It really is in a tight spot right now. Here comes regular Solgaleo with a Feather Dance, going to lower the attack stat. Just toying with this Reshiram right now, taking away all its chances of taking down these two Solgaleo by itself. Reshiram really needs... Oh, there we go. I was going to say Reshiram needs a mistake by the Solgaleo team using First Impression when it's not the first turn. That is certainly a mistake. Here comes Telekinesis. Going to throw one of those Solgaleo up into the air. I think, honestly, this Reshiram needs to focus on offense more than, you know, status moves and special moves. It just really needs to focus on attack, attack, attack. Here comes the Tail Whip, lowering the defense of Reshiram. This is not good for Reshiram. Really, they could do with a reset, to be honest. They could do with starting over. Here's regular Solgaleo going for Lock On, really just toying with Reshiram at this point. Reshiram kind of knows that its back's against the wall, so hopefully it can pull something out and try and take down Solgaleo. Here's Acupressure. I mean, it might be too little too late, my dude. So you're going to raise your special defense shot. I mean, that was a great play, but your defense is still lowered. Your attack is still lowered. Your special attack is up, though, from that flatter earlier. Here's a Confuse Ray. This Reshiram is going to be confused for the second time in this battle. That is not good for Reshiram. Let's see if it can avoid the confusion this time. Well, here's regular Solgaleo. What will it do to follow up on that Confuse Ray? Goes for Work Up, so it's going to increase its attack. And I believe it's special attack. It is special attack. I get confused with Work Up and Bulk Up, because Bulk Up is attack and defense. Reshiram's confused, fights through it though, gets the Metronome. What will it grant it this time? Goes for Recycle, and of course that fails because you've not had a berry to use. It's Solgaleo is freed from Telekinesis. What's it going to do now? That Telekinesis was completely redundant. Clear Smog coming out. That's going to eliminate the stat changes on that Reshiram, so it's not going to worry now. Now it doesn't have the special defense increase, it doesn't have the special attack increase, but also I believe its attack and defense will be back to what they were. I believe. Here's a Mean Look. That's not going to do anything for Reshiram or for Solgaleo. Reshiram snaps out of the confusion. What's it going to do? What will it do here? It needs something. Goes for Fury Swipes and it misses because of that earlier accuracy drop. So I believe the lowered stat changes don't get removed by Clear Smog, but don't quote me. Here's an Aurora Beam. Maybe it was just the accuracy of Fury Swipes for all we know. That Aurora Beam does a nice bit of neutral damage there. Here comes regular Solgaleo. What's it going to follow up with? Goes for Ice Beam. So basically Aurora Beam, but more powerful, and the chance to freeze. Oh my goodness. Reshiram is in the red. What's it got in mind? What's it going to do here? Goes for Air Slash, which is going to be resisted. This is not good for Big... I was going to say it's not good for Big Red. It's great for Big Red. It's not good for Reshiram at all. Here's regular Solgaleo. What's it got in mind this time? Goes for a Shadow Punch. That's going to be game one. Down goes regular Reshiram. It held its own for a lot longer than I thought it would. But here's round two. This is for a place in our final, so Reshiram really needs to pull its finger out, even though it kind of doesn't have fingers. It has those little claws on its wings, but you know what I mean. Here we see Turbo Blaze activating again, not that it's any real use in this battle. But Reshiram needs to pull out all the stops here to try and take down Solgaleo, to tie it 1-1 so that they can have another chance to battle and go through to the final. But Shiny Solgaleo starts off with a Dragon Claw on regular Reshiram, taking half its HP off from the get-go. What a brilliant dominant play there. And here's the regular Solgaleo following up with a Mach Punch, and they doubled up into the same Reshiram. They want to take one Reshiram down early because they clearly know that two Reshiram have a chance against them, whereas the one Reshiram does not stand a chance on its own. realistically, here is that regular Reshiram suffering all that damage, going for a scary face, but it doesn't affect Solgaleo because of its full metal body ability that prevents its stats from being lowered. And here we see turn 2, regular Solgaleo winding up. What's it going to go for? Goes for Comet Punch, but it is avoided by Reshiram, so that's handy for the Reshiram team. Any chance you can take no damage? Great idea. Here's a Blaze Kick that's going to be quad resisted by Shiny Reshiram, eating up that damage, even on a critical hit. Not a worry for Reshiram with its 4 times resistance to fire. Here's a Blue Flare, though, signature move of Reshiram. Oh my god, taking out Shiny Solgaleo from the get-go. Oh my goodness. Of all the plays, that is the luckiest play Reshiram could have had. Oh my goodness, this team is still in this. Thunder Wave does miss on the regular Solgaleo, but my goodness, Blue Flare, the signature move of Reshiram, is exactly what Reshiram needed to stay in this contest. We see Poison Gas coming out from Solgaleo, going to poison both Reshiram there though, meaning they're both on borrowed time, and that was a great play by Solgaleo, because now both these Reshiram are on a timer. Regular Reshiram more so, because it's at such low HP. Uses Facade, that is going to be resisted by Solgaleo, even though it's going to be a double damage Facade because of the status condition. So great time to use Facade, but not the right opponent for it. Here's a Smelling Salts coming out from Shiny Reshiram, not very effective. And there's the poison damage on the Shiny Reshiram, and then repeated on the regular Reshiram, who is really suffering right now. Solgaleo has an opportunity to make this battle one-on-one, Solgaleo versus Reshiram. Here it comes with the Darkest Lariat. Which Reshiram is it on? If it's on the regular, which means it's going to knock the regular out. Down goes regular Reshiram. It's now Shiny Reshiram versus regular Solgaleo for a place in our final, with the poison taking its effect. Land's Wrath, though, coming out from Shiny Reshiram, pulling out all the stops there. Super effective hit, bringing Solgaleo down to less than half HP. Reshiram now has the HP advantage, but Solgaleo is aware that that poison is there. It just needs Reshiram to make a few mistakes, and it's going to the final. Reshiram needs Solgaleo. Oh, Clanging Scales, though, coming out from Solgaleo. That's going to do huge damage to Reshiram. Oh my goodness. Dropping the defense of Solgaleo, but does Solgaleo care at this point if its defense is lowered? My goodness. Here comes Reshiram with Ancient Power that is going to be resisted by the Steel-type Solgaleo, but it's a little decent bit of damage. But now Reshiram's poison takes effect, and it's going to bring it within one turn. Reshiram needs to defeat Solgaleo. Otherwise, Reshiram is done and out of this competition. Solgaleo goes for Dragon Pulse. It's going to be super effective. That's going to be the battle over. Reshiram is going down. Solgaleo, with that dominance, is going to our final. Solgaleo has defeated Reshiram. It's defeated all comers so far. This is the opponent for Dialga in the final of MetroMania Season 2. Well done. Well, Solgaleo just wanted to go to the finals, clearly. It had no intention of stopping its momentum. I thought Reshiram would put up a decent fight, but Solgaleo was just like, nah, I'm going to the final, mate. And wow, what a dominant set of battles from Solgaleo. That was really, really cool to watch, and I'm really impressed with the progress that Solgaleo has made throughout the tournament. Like, it's going up against Dialga in the finals, and I actually think it will put up a decent fight against Dialga. Like, you know, quote me later on in case I'm wrong, but I think if anyone's going to stand up to Dialga, it's going to be Solgaleo. If you look back at the battles that it's had, like, go and rewatch them. Rewatch the battle with Groudon, rewatch the battle with Palkia, and then rewatch this battle with Reshiram. Oh my goodness, Solgaleo is a powerhouse and really shouldn't be underestimated. So next week is our final. It is set Dialga versus Solgaleo. You've just got 1 week to wait, and then we get to find out who's the legendary MetroMania Champion, the champion of Season 2. But of course, that's where I'm going to leave it for this episode of MetroMania. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button, and if you're new, hit the subscribe button. And if you'd like to support this channel, you can do so via Patreon. It's patreon.com/AceTrainerLiam. But until next time, I'm Ace Trainer Liam. Keep on training.